Hey guys, most of us may think that the business formation process is a one and done type deal. You fill out the paperwork to set up your new business, and that's pretty much it, right? On to the next thing. But not so fast. Because of a lack of knowledge of the business formation process, and it varies in every state, many business owners are getting their business suspended due to non-compliance, okay? And this is happening throughout the nation. And once your business does get suspended, God forbid that happens, there's a nightmare, trying to get it reinstated, lots of fees, and lots of costs, okay, and paperwork and procedures. So what we want to do is talk about how we can help you make sure your business stays in good standing, okay, so you can do what you do best, and that's grow your business. Hey, I'm Cedric Hill, and for over 10 years, I've been helping clients launch and scale their businesses and achieve their dreams, all by following my blueprint formula that guides you through your business startup journey. Let's get after it. But before I go further, be sure to click the link below to register for one of our upcoming webinars. There we cover this information in a lot more detail, and you can discover exactly how our Dream Accelerator program is actually helping our clients generate self-sustaining income, many of which have come to the point where they can actually quit their full-time job and focus their time exclusively on their business. Now let's get into it. Since the start of the pandemic, we've seen a record number of new businesses started, something like 5.5 million in 2021, and the trend is continuing, which is all great. But unfortunately, I've seen far too many times business owners finding themselves inoperable due to the lack of understanding of business license compliance requirements and other procedures. So here are the 3 fatal errors to avoid in your business formation journey. Fatal error number 1, using an online service to set up your business without knowing enough about the business formation process and the ongoing compliance requirements to keep your business in good standing. Number 2, failing to file your taxes on time, okay? This is a doozy. Got to make sure we're doing that. And number 3, not updating your business compliance with the government agencies when you have changes, such as a change of address, officer changes, or a change in your board or your company structure. Okay, so let's start with the first fatal error and a remedy of how we can deal with that and make sure it doesn't happen to our business. Number 1, making sure that we have the knowledge, right, of setting up our business, but also the compliance requirements. So one of the things you want to make sure you do first is, in your state, understand the agency that has jurisdiction, right, over businesses and business compliance. Every state is different, and they all have different, names for these agencies. Sometimes it's the Secretary of State, sometimes it's, a business compliance office. So find that out, and then they generally will post the requirements on their website, or you can Google it and find that information. And it's really important because in that information, you're going to find the specific requirements that they have for that business type, okay, in that state. And the frequency. This is another thing you want to really understand. What's the frequency of providing these updates? Sometimes it's 1 year, every year. For some states, it's every 2 years. You might see a state every 3 or 4 years. Okay, so understanding how often are you going to have to provide this information? See, that's really, really super important. And of course, you want to make sure that if you have any changes, such as a change of address or anything like that, that you make sure you communicate that, because a lot of times it's the change of address, frankly, that is the problem, because someone moves, their business moves, and then this notice comes out from the agency saying that, hey, you're due for compliance. The person may not get it, or it goes to the wrong person, what have you, and now there's a problem because you never got the information, and then the government agency might take action to suspend or apply fees. And so these are the things you want to think about with respect to finding out the agency, making sure that you get your business in compliance and you understand the requirements, and that you take care of that and put it on calendar so that you're compliant and in good standing throughout. Our next fatal error is taxes, dealing with our taxes, filing tax returns on time. And this is kind of a major area, new business owners especially, but even existing business owners that have been doing it might have a lapse or a blind spot there where they make a mistake. And so understanding what you have to do is really important for tax. You must file a tax return, okay, every year. So all these other, sort of situations don't really apply if you have a business. So if you didn't make any money, or you didn't make enough money, or you made too much money, it doesn't matter. You must file a return even if you made $1 million or $1. Okay, so every business must file a tax return in virtually every state that I've seen. Okay, so you got to file your return both with the state where you operate and with the federal government, obviously through the IRS. Okay, so that's really first and foremost, making sure that you always file a return. And if you're a nonprofit, by the way, you still must file a tax return through the IRS. So the first thing we want to do is understand that we have to file a return. The second thing we have to do is make sure that we have the mechanisms in place to file those tax returns. Okay, if you're doing it yourself, great. There's tax software that's out there. People use accountants and other tax professionals to assist. All of those things are great, but making sure that you're not just blindly sort of turning it over to someone or hoping that the software tells you everything. You need to make sure that you have enough knowledge, right, about your business tax situation to make sure that you're doing the right things. And so that brings me to another point with taxes, and this is really important. Think about how you need to file your taxes, okay? So sometimes you will file your taxes as part of your personal tax return. Sometimes you will file your taxes separately as a separate business entity. So those things are really important, okay, to how you look at your tax situation and, of course, the filing paperwork and forms that you would use to do that filing. So optimum way, right, for your business needs to get you where you want to go in terms of making sure that you're, keeping your tax rate, right, in the right spot, as well as how you're processing all of your, paperwork each year. Okay, third and final error is just making sure that you proactively provide updates to the government agency, has oversight of your business in your state. And you want to do that basically whenever the event happens. So if you have a change of address, make sure that you go online or send that information in so that any information coming from said agency, you would make sure that you're receiving. So that's first and foremost when you have a change of address, but any type of officer change or structural changes, you also want to communicate that information to the agency promptly. You want to make sure you get that information in and that you are always in compliance. Another one I've seen, people miss is, you have some sort of structure. So maybe you start out as an LLC and you want to move it to a corporation. You can do that and make those changes on the new business, but you also must dissolve the LLC or dissolve the old business, the legacy business, so that it doesn't go into a suspension type of status. So it's just really important to understand these rules so that when you make these decisions, they're going to be in compliance with the agency that your business is operating under. So now that we've gone through the right way to set up your business and ensure that it remains in good standing, I want to personally invite you to join one of my upcoming webinars so you can go even deeper to learn the secrets of launching a successful business. In the webinar, we drill down deeper into the first two phases of the startup process, okay? Planning and launch. And you'll get to create a business value proposition and your brand. We go through how to write a lean business plan, which is a business plan that gives you the essentials without all of the fluff, right? The unneeded pages of, time wasters. And finally, you go through our marketing launch kit, which walks you through how to find clients, okay, that are ready, willing, and able to purchase your products, okay, when you launch live. So this webinar is designed to equip you with the knowledge and the know-how to get your business up and running and making money within 30 days. We hope to see you there.